know why you clicked on this video. And you're right, the Bass in Berlin pay-per-view is over and the results are in. And I have to say that this pay-per-view was pretty solid in my opinion. The opener, which was, I'm pretty sure, was Cody versus Kevin to start the show, was pretty great in my opinion. I gotta say, I will admit the build-up was a bit forced in my opinion, because if I'm being honest, his track record, Kevin's track record of like big wins or major wins is little to none recently against his whole feud with the Bloodline and having to deal with losses after losses after losses. I just don't feel like he should have had the opportunity to compete against Cody. I mean, he was open about it, but then again, he still competed, and of course, Cody retains with, you know, the Crossroads, same as usual. And to be honest, I kind of expected Kevin to turn, but I guess they're saving that for down the road. But all in all, pretty solid way to open up the show. Next was Elba Fire versus Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. Now this match, now I'll be honest, the match itself I don't have any problem with at all, but you know it's the fact that eventually these two are gonna break up soon, and they are gonna start going into the singles division, which really sucks because the thing about these women's tag team belts that is really hard to put into perspective is that there are no official teams in the women's division that can really put the belts on a pedestal. Now, the only thing I'd probably say the women's belts have going for them is that they're not held to a specific brand, which makes it feel like that they have more like open reign to be on any brand of SmackDown or Raw. And you know, I would be willing, or I would be open to seeing those belts being defended on either brand and not just staying on one. But this match was, again, it was pretty good thanks to the crowd. And I'll be honest, these two as champions, you know, I feel like it's gonna end soon for them because, to be honest, I feel like Jaden is gonna start getting some more singles work soon. Bianca Belair as well. I mean, I do like them as a tag team. I think they're great. They work really well together. But in the end, like, it's the inevitable. I know these two are gonna eventually split their ways and like move on to greater pastures in the up and coming future. Next match is, I believe, CM Punk. Oh no, it was the Judgment Day. Uh, the Judgment Day executes, which was Damian Priest and Rhea versus uh, Liv and Dominic. Now, I'm gonna be honest here. This mixed tag was probably the closest thing we are ever going to get to WWE going back to uh, mixed gender uh, singles matches or mixed gender uh, feuds that we're ever going to see. Because, let's be honest, Rhea choking out Dominic with her legs. I mean, come on. We all know. I mean, you saw the thumbnail. You obviously know that, you know, it should not have been him because he shouldn't have had that treatment. Like I should have been in that seat, but not him. But I digress. I'm not a superstar. But this match was pretty awesome. I at this point, in the middle of Rhea and Liv feuding, I kind of just want them to just let it be them fighting. I kind of would like this to go to Bad Blood and have their match be like an unsanctioned match, because if I'm being honest, I would not mind if they had like a real deep feud going into the Bad Blood pay-per-view, because let's just be honest, this feud has been going on for so long, to the point where you know we thought Rhea was good, but in truth, Rhea did cost Liv everything, and Liv is just only giving her just desserts. And well, let's just be honest. As soon as Dominic was out of the picture, or as soon as like Rhea just dropped Dom at him automatically, like at this point during the storyline, I don't want Dominic anywhere near these two. I just want it to be just about them, like their final match. Like it has to be no interferences, no Dominic Mysterio, no nothing. It's just pure rage in that ring. And if I'm being honest, I don't even want the women's championship to be on the line. I just want these two like in a cage, just just like barely any weapons being used. It's just their fists, like the least amount of weapons, maybe like a chair and like a table and I don't know, rope to choke one another out. I'd like it kind of sounds kinky, but I know this is wrestling. But I just want these two to have a feud or end the feud where they just beat the ever living hell out of each other. Because at this point during the feud, this would be the way I want to end. Like, I don't want Dominic or Damian coming in to like root for one another, because I feel like at this point, you know, they already had their parts in the storyline, so it's just down to Rhea and Liv to fence it out. And now on to the strap match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Now I'm gonna be honest, there is a record between these two with the amount of strap matches they had in their career. I mean, one of them was a dog collar match, and the other one was a pretty below average match with a pretty below average person. Cross. But anyway, um, this match was honestly some of the better strap matches that were in the WWE. I mean, I wouldn't put it up there between, well, either one of their first, because if I'm being honest, Punk versus Umaga in his strap match, I'd probably say I put this over this one. But one thing I'm happy about that is finally gone from this feud is the bracelet. The bracelet, God, thank goodness. Like, go take that home and you freaking keep it in a safe, because I don't want that thing anywhere near this storyline, okay? Like, this final match between these two, I wouldn't mind seeing this match go be unsanctioned either, because like Like, dude, you pretty much called this man's wife a bitch and a stupid dog Larry and all that whatnot. Like, come on, dude. You like this has all the qualifications to be like something so much more brutal. And they literally made each other bleed to death on like a taping of Raw. And like at this point, I would not mind if these two like had like the bloodiest Hell in a Cell match of all time. And I need it to happen. And I want like little weapons as crap. I just want them just trying to strangle each other until one loses color in his face. I don't want them to go for pinfalls. Just try and make the other person tap out or pass out from all lack of oxygen. And we're down to the final match. Gunther taking on the legend killer Randy Orton. Now I will say, despite the controversies of Gunther winning his King of the Ring, uh, when Orton's shoulder was clearly up off the mat, this kind of puts them in a bit of it put the match where it needed to be. I mean, the build up with the controversy behind the win was a pretty good way to have the feud of these two going on, which I'm happy about. But in the end, like Gunther put Randy to sleep. If I'm being honest, that match was honestly a solid match for Gunther's reign, or for the beginning of it, to solidify himself as a world champion, because he's being a former, uh, was it 13? Yeah, 13 time world champion. Yeah. And, this means, this means Randy may be going down a spiral, which may lead him to go turn on a certain someone. Maybe that could happen. I would hope that would happen because it would set the next feud into motion. But other than that, I really hope Gunther does make this belt so much more important than it was announced as. Because we all know that this belt was 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 brought up as the second place trophy to to Raw because no one was good enough to beat Roman at all. And I hate this belt, or I hate the history of it. Like if you ask someone, "Ooh, what's that belt? It looks nice." I was like, that belt was made because no one could beat the tribal chief. And that's always gonna suck because this title doesn't have any like prestige. Like it wasn't built off something that was great, or it wasn't like vacated into something good, or it was just brought up because no one could get the job done. But I do hope that in Gunther's reign that this belt could be lifted up off the canvas. Seth Rollins and Damian have done their due justice in trying to like add add prestige prestige to the championship that was built off a very low pedestal. But I really hope that whoever Gunther feuds with later is going to be a more a more well-rounded person he has experience with, I wouldn't mind him faced with Dragunov, Samus, hell, even Bronson again, because Bronson's practically on the run of his career right now as I'm speaking. And Gunther Gunther is gonna do it. Like, he's gonna bring back the prestige to this belt that it should have had if it wasn't for it just being another championship for the losers. And I hate how I had to mention that, because that's how this belt was made. It was just crafted because no one could beat Roman. Like, I hate that. So I really hope Gunther does not bring back, but add on more prestige to this belt, because it truly does deserve it, even though its history and its lineage is absolute bullshit. But that's enough from me. Thank you guys for watching. Hey, if you want to like, there's a button that helps do that. And if you think this is good content, then hey, there's also a button you can click, and another button you can click to see notifications. But yeah, that's enough from me. And there is another video somewhere over here that shows me doing some other stuff about wrestling, and you could click on that if you like what you see here. But that's enough from me. Thank you all for watching, and don't forget, Stars Unite.